In this school, I don't really feel safe. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of times where I've wondered if there's going to be somebody who enters the building and if there's going to be a school shooter in this building. When we have lockdowns, I wonder what's going to happen, if there's going to be a hard lockdown, if every time an announcement comes on, I wonder, is it going to be a hard lockdown? Are we going to be sheltering in place? Are we going to be running away? What's going to happen to us? What is going to happen to us? This building is not safe. There's many points where people can enter, and I just wonder, what's going to happen to us? Am I actually safe?
With the bond, we can improve our security systems. We can get better locks. We'll have the doors filter through the office to be monitored.
Not only security, but just general improvements on the building. The bathrooms, some of the doors can't close all the way, the locks don't work, the sinks, some of them are falling apart, and they just generally are not, like, good anymore. And there are so many rooms where the ceiling is bad, missing tiles, half of the band ceiling is just gone, and there are so many improvements on the building that we need for it to continue to be a safe space. And then we do need more security to make it even safer.
And touching back on safety, and if a threat were to get in the building, it is not the teacher's responsibility to save us. It is supposed to be the school's responsibility to save us. If I am a student at MCC, I want to feel safe every day I come here. But I don't feel safe when our security systems are not up to par. Obviously, you know, with like threats with like school shootings at MSU and Oxford, obviously their security systems could have been good, but what is the possibility that the threat is already inside the building and it is not coming from outside, but it is already inside? What do we do then? Is it the teacher's responsibility to figure it out? Is it the teacher's responsibility to actually save us? I don't want some person who has spent their whole life here risking their lives so we can be safe.
One thing that's a major thing for me is the fact that I've been coming to MCC since I was in 5th grade, and in that time we have had at least 2 major lockdowns, and one of them I was in middle school, and we had to actually evacuate the middle school and move into the elementary school because there was a bomb threat. And as much as that was dealt with and we all ended up being safe, the issues there still apply. It's still terrifying to think about daily. I'm coming to a school that has these threats and has these things that they don't figure out until the day of. It's terrifying to think about. Just down the road not too long ago, we had to have police escort a man out of Wesco where at lunchtime, where we can go off campus and we can go, and a lot of us go to Wesco. It's just a scary thought that we don't have the protection needed to actually be safe while we're in an environment that we're told is safe. When we're told that we can be okay and be willing to come to school daily, yet a lot of us don't feel that safety needed to actually learn and actually do the things we need to do.
And touch back what Alexis was saying. I know kids that won't come to school because they don't feel safe at school because of all the shootings at MSU and Oxford. And the thing that when we had a major thing at Wesco, most people were terrified of it. It's not a safe environment to be in sometimes.
Another thing, going back from safety onto just the improvements that need to be made in our building. In my lifetime, I have seen so many leaks in this school alone. There's leaks in the band room. We have a really terrible auditory system in here and this gym anyways. This is a gym with a stage. pretty much. We can't call this an AO, we can't call this an auditorium, because this is used for sports. We have to mark off the days and the weeks that we can actually use the gym for theater events and for band events, because there are sports in here constantly as well. So this isn't just something that would improve the theater and band. This would improve the way that we can do our sports and practice, because let's be honest here, this is not the best place to practice for basketball and baseball and things that go on constantly as well. We have leaks in the band room. We have mold growing in the ceiling that's been there since I was in 6th grade. We have the ceiling tiles, half of them are falling out. It's not a safe environment in that aspect either, because there are things that could easily, like the mold, could easily make us sick. We have ceiling tiles that could easily fall. It's issues that we do need to improve upon, but at the moment we don't have the resources, the time, or the money.
And touching back on what Alexis said, for like with sports coming in here, I have seen so many of our sports and our athletics teams get angry at us theater kids because we are in here performing when it is the only spot that we have to perform, or they would probably kick us out and throw us in the library. Like when I was in middle school and I was in a play, they had the cheer team kick us out because they wanted for them to be alone, but we had the curtain closed and we weren't even intruding on them at all. We need a space where we can perform, and there aren't any sports teams or any athletics coming in and being like, hey, this is our space, because this isn't an auditorium. This isn't a place where theater kids can just come and hang out. It's a gym. It's literally a gym with a stage that is falling apart, and an auditory system that barely even works, and we barely have enough mics to do anything with a play. Some of the mics break or the batteries die really quickly. And with our lights, they're like 50 years old, and our director has to get up on a lift to change colors. It's a problem, not for us, but for any athletics team that needs the space to use it.
With the stage, there is absolutely no space. We could have maybe 4 set pieces back there if we're lucky, and we're not getting any, like a large amount of people back there for the stage, like the crew for it. We don't have a good way to get prepared for a play. We have to build on the gym floor. If we had this bond, we wouldn't have to build on the gym floor. We wouldn't have to make sure we don't get paint on the floor. We wouldn't have to, we'd have space to have our set pieces. We'd have space to have our actors, which I'm pretty sure is the bare minimum for a play, you know. What's it called? The dressing rooms, they're small. We don't have space. The bathrooms back there are not great. Very scary to go back there, actually. The costume area, it's not a costume area, it's a renovated shower.
The seating in here is a bunch of chairs. It takes 10 to 15 people to set up the chairs. There's giant risers that takes 10 to 15 people to pull out and push in the chairs when you need them. It takes 20 to 30 minutes to put away the chairs or to get out the chairs and the risers. It takes a lot of manpower and effort to put on any sort of performance, whether it be a band performance, a choir performance, one that's going on right now for the little kid performance, a play, any sort of anything. We need to have seating that is put away and put back all the time. There's not enough area in here to put it away, to put it back. There's always stuff in this gym that is just put around. It's always messy because there's no space to put anything.
For not just for us, but for the teachers and all of the staff members, it is not just needed for the students. We need this bond, not just for the stage or for the leaks, but for the general improvements on the school. The school was built in 1958, and the last improvement or bond was in 2006, or 2009, if I'm correct. But we just need to vote yes on this bond for the general improvements of our school.
Vote yes for the bond, because the last improvement with our school was in 2006. That was a year before I was born. And I'm now standing here asking you to vote yes again because our school is pretty much falling apart. It isn't safe for us here anymore, and we don't have anywhere else that we can go.